Hey, what's up, guys? Chris Abbott here with the Church Growth Agency, and I have a question for you. Do you want us to build and launch your entire Facebook ads campaign for you in less than 10 business days so that you can have a steady, reliable, and predictable amount of new visitors to your church every single week? So you can focus on your message instead of actually wondering if people are going to show up, right? And not wasting your time and financial resources trying to figure it all out yourself. All right. Well, if so, watch a little bit longer here, and we're going to show you exactly how we can do that for you. All right. So if you're not familiar with the Church Growth Agency, I'm Chris Abbott. I founded it here, and our team has basically built campaigns and consulted with over 250 churches across the United States and Canada. We've worked with small churches, large churches, big cities, rural areas, all denominations and demographics, mega churches to church plants. So we've literally helped our clients grow their new visitors from 30% as high as 110%. That's why top church marketers like Brady Shear and Ryan Wakefield consult with us on Facebook marketing strategies for churches. So what we want to talk about here today is the revolutionary new Facebook ads framework that the churches we work with are using to quickly bring in a steady stream of new visitors and new families every single week, and will help you use the same Facebook ads framework to scale your church faster. So Facebook ad campaigns are the most effective way to get new families to your church. But the problem is creating, running, managing, and optimizing your ad campaigns is both tricky and obviously time consuming. So this new little known Facebook ads framework that we created is actually a shortcut around all that. So it's the fastest and most effective way we've discovered to have new visitors sign up and actually plan their visit to your church, get butts in seats consistently, right? Impressions, reach, none of that stuff matters. The only thing that actually matters is butts in seats, without throwing your money away on effective, outdated methods like direct mail that don't actually get people to show up, right? Direct mail, what in life has an acceptable rate of return of 0.25%, right? Only direct mail. Don't throw your money away on direct mailing again. So I'm going to reveal the exact details in just a minute. First, I want to give you an overview of why this new Facebook ads for churches strategy works so well. So this new framework, it's not about B2B or B2C, right? Business to business or business to consumer. Obviously, man, this is the church world, right? This is ministry. This is about H to H. Okay, this is human to human. That's the reason this works, is because every single person wants community and wants human connection. That's why this is so powerful. So let me introduce you to the Plan Your Visit model and show you why this framework is so powerful. Okay, now we can't take credit for this. Okay, we actually got this from Disney. Okay, Disney, when you go on and you're planning your trip to Disney World, you can actually plan your Disney vacation, all right, and you can actually schedule everything out. Right? And so what happens is when you schedule it out, it lowers the barrier of entry because it eliminates people's biggest anxieties about going to Disney World, right? Crowds, long lines, those types of things. So Disney has now actually allowed you, so they created the Fast Pass, the Magic Band. You can actually sign up for a time when you want to go ride those rides. You can sign up for a time that you want to go eat, right? And you can schedule out literally your entire vacation. Okay, so that's the reason it's so powerful. That's the reason it's been so effective lately. It's because you can actually schedule out in advance your entire trip and then custom fit that visit for your family. Okay, it makes you feel connected, comfortable, and celebrated, and that's why at churches we have basically done the same thing. Okay, so it allows visitors to schedule a customized visit catered just for their family. It eliminates those anxieties of what's it going to look like when I show up, and what do I do, and where do I go, where do I sit? I don't want to sit by myself. Those types of things, right? So it's basically like having a best friend waiting for you at the door, because they sign up for Plan Your Visit. You schedule a person to literally be their host, to be waiting for them, to meet them at the front door, to help them get their kids checked in, to get them a cup of coffee, to give them a tour of the church, to introduce them to other key staff and leaders and pastors, other families at your church. And the big thing is, and this is one of the things we tell our churches all the time that we work with, is you're not treating them like VIPs, you're treating them like family. Okay, now that seems like a small distinction, but it's actually a huge shift. You don't want to treat them like celebrities. You want to treat them like family. That's why the plan your visit model is so effective. Step one in this process is basically to create your first Facebook video ad. Okay, make your invite as simple and clear as possible, and you want to use video ads because that's working much better than static image ads. Okay, we've done this and we've proved that this literally works at big churches, small churches, rural churches, inner city churches. Literally, it does not matter, again, because this is H to H, and every single person is craving human connection, and that's what these videos do. If you do it right, you create an emotional connection through your video ad and invite people to church, right? Then you want to get it in front of as many people within driving distance of your church as possible. Now, what happens is when you do this correctly, right, you'll have a powerful digital invite that actually gets the right people in your doors, and you'll create a personal connection with your community and build rapport. Okay, so here's a mid-sized church in Tampa that we've been working with. So they were running with 350 people when they first came to us. They had 800 people at their grand opening only 4 weeks later. They were literally moving from elementary school to a high school. They were running 350. They went from 350 to 800 in 4 weeks for their grand opening. Now, if you know anything about moving buildings, especially church plants, right? When you go from one building to another, you usually lose half your people. They actually gained. They went from 350 to 800 moving buildings, and at the grand opening in just 4 weeks. So they had over 60 new families plan their visit, and now several months later, they've settled in at 650 people. So they essentially doubled their size of their church, right, from 350 to 800, and now they're consistently running 650. They basically doubled their church using this Facebook ads framework. All right, so in the last 6 weeks, just to give you an idea, some of the churches that have hired us and that work with us. Right, I had a church in Missouri, 27 plan your visits. Church in Wisconsin, 15 plan your visits. Illinois, 22. A church in Kansas, 86 plan your visits. Church in Maryland, 14 plan your visits. A church in Missouri, 39 plan your visits. A church in Ohio, 98 plan your visits. A church in Florida, 115 plan your visits. A church in California, 36 plan your visits, and a church in Oklahoma with 276 plan your visits. Again, in just the last 6 weeks. So, the question is, do you want us to help you craft your first Facebook video ad? Right? Here's step 2, right? Create the plan your visit landing page. So it compels new visitors to actually schedule a visit, disarms them and makes them feel comfortable, makes them feel connected, introduces people to your church, your mission, and your message, and lowers the barrier of entry because every single person basically has 2 questions: who's the pastor and who are the people? And you answer that with a plan your visit landing page. So when you do this right, literally you will continue to get just steady, consistent new families every single week, and your retention rates will increase because new visitors feel that connection when they're showing up. So here's another church plant in Kansas that hired us. So they when they first hired us, they were 30 days out from their launch. We sent, in 4 weeks before their launch, we sent 15,784 people to their website. Now, imagine, I don't know if you guys have ever planted churches or been a part of a church plant before, but if in the 30 days before your launch, imagine what would happen if you sent 15,000 people to your website before the launch. Right? I know a lot of church planting organizations will teach using direct mail, right? Which makes me want to throw up in my mouth because direct mail is just so outdated and ineffective. Right? There's no way any direct mail would send 15,000 people to your website to learn more about what God's doing at your church. All right, that's what we did in 30 days at this church. They had 67 plan your visits in the first 4 weeks for that launch. And then they had 300 people at their very first service. Pretty awesome. So now here we are 3 months into this thing, and they've had 105 plan your visits total. That's one way to kick off a church plant. All right. So again, would you like for us to do all of this for you? All right. If you do, just simply fill out the application form on the bottom of this page. Let's have a strategy call and talk about whether or not we'd be a good fit. All right, so here's step 3. We set up a 12-week follow-up sequence. Now, the reason is because the average church grower attends church once a month, so you have to follow up for at least 3 months to make sure and get them to come back again, to get them back in the door, right? You want to set up a 12-week follow-up sequence that re-engages past visitors and creates conversations. That's the key, right? So when you do this right, you can turn first-time visitors into second-time visitors because as anyone who's been in ministry as long as we have, right, you know the only thing better than a first-time visitor is a second-time visitor. And then it gets people into your assimilation process, right? So you can literally use the 12-week follow-up sequence to not only get people to come back again, but then get them to your next steps and ultimately into your assimilation process. And this is where true church growth happens because visitors are awesome, but what we really want to do is we want to make disciples. So we have to get people assimilated into the church. All right, so here's an innovative church on the East Coast. They're averaging about 700 people when they hired us. They had over 1,000 people at their grand opening less than 30 days later. We sent 4,369 people to their website. Now, again, remember, those 4,369 people, they represent 4,369 families who live within driving distance of their church. We send them to their website to learn more about what God is doing at their church. Okay, 147 families plan their visit in just the first 60 days. And they're paying less in ad costs than they ever have before and reaching way more people, right? So here's what's crazy. They are literally averaging $16.89 per plan your visit. Now think about that. Think about what that would do for you. If every time you spent $16 on Facebook, you had someone who lived within driving distance of your church who signed up and scheduled a visit to come check out your church. Pretty cool, right? So here's kind of how we can help you, right? Just to recap. Step 1, we will write, record, and launch all of your Facebook video invite ads. Step 2, we'll install the Plan Your Visit model and all the technology on your website. And then step 3, we'll set up your custom 12-week follow-up system to get all of those new families to come back again. We don't just want first-time visitors, we want second-time visitors, and ultimately church members and disciples. So here's another church that we worked with in a rural part of Missouri. So they came to us running 103 people. We sent 5,812 people to their website in just 90 days. They've had 42 plan your visits, and they're spending $53.82 per plan your visit. Now think about that. Again, $53 every time they invest $53 on Facebook. They're having a family in a rural town, right? There's only about 100,000 people who live within 45 miles of this church, right? And they're planning to visit. They're only investing $53 and getting a new family to sign up for Plan Your Visit, right? They've had 2 of their largest services in the history of their church since they started working with us, and they're now consistently hitting attendance between 155 and 170, which is a 55% growth rate. All right, so in just 90 days, going from 103 people to consistently hitting attendance between 155 and 170. Here is another church here, right? So this is a large church. It's a mega church in Northern Ohio. They have 5 campuses. In the last 90 days, 6,320 people to their website. They've had 152 plan your visits. They're only spending $18.89 per plan your visit. Their current Facebook ad campaign is at just 16 cents a click. Right, so the way that the math works out is for them about every 50 clicks, right? About every time they have an emotional connection with someone on Facebook who stops what they're doing, clicks on their Facebook ad, goes to their custom landing page to learn more about their church. Right, the way that the math works is that for about every 50 clicks that they have to their landing page, they're getting a Plan Your Visit. Right, so imagine how many Plan Your Visits you could get if you were only paying 16 cents a click. They're crushing it. Okay, so, and this is what we'll do. We'll handle all of the ad optimization for you, all the tech for you. We'll do all the targeting. We'll even write and record all of your videos for you. So if you want to stop wasting time and money trying to figure it all out yourself, just fill out the application below, right? If you'd just rather have us build and launch proven Facebook ads and church campaigns for you, this is what we do. Just fill out the application. Let's hop on a strategy call and see if this would be a good fit, right? So we see a lot of churches all the time adding an extra 5 to 10 new families per week through Plan Your Visit. So just fill out the application on this page, schedule a call to speak with one of our team, and we'll see you guys soon.